Right, Saturday 9th, I'll try and do a quick little video again. Haven't uploaded to the internet for quite some time, but we will see where we go. Right, the handbrake cables are pulled through and they're sat through underneath. I've been having a little go at, well, I thought I was going to have a go at the front at first because I was going to take I know there's a bracket off the back of the gearbox, but I think that's actually fixed to the subframe. So I'm looking at almost doing what I'm going to do with the back, and that is to, as I've got it raised up in the air, but what I'll do is I'll lower it down so that the centre diff is sat on this box, possibly on a pallet truck, and then I can wheel it out nice and easy. I've got one bolt holding onto the prop shaft onto the rear diff, because the other two are here. I've taken all the other front bolts out of the mount. Let's see if I can just get down here without getting all manky. So I've actually removed this bracket here, unbolted it. I'm going to whack the wheels back on anyway and lower it down. I've discombobulated the shock from the top there. Bolts were quite easy, not too bad on the front here. There's the handbrake cables, and I've also disconnected the main brake from 2 points, because I didn't realise that this bracket here was fixed to the bloody front of the suspension. Probably, I don't know, whichever way you can see it, anyway you can see that bracket is actually fixed to this bracket, which is now separated from the car. So when I lower it down on the wheels, it can still sit on its suspension, still sit on its wheels temporarily, and obviously I've done the same round here. So let's get around here. So the brake cable is now pulled free. In fact, let's just walk that through there so it's not stressed. Ooh, let's get underneath. So there's the back of the cable going through the subframe and hanging out the front and on the floor, likewise on the other side there. So suspension is undone, but I've had a go. Ooh, if we can focus. So I've had a go at these 4 bolts here, another one there. I think I've disconnected disconnected all the electrics. So there you go, you can see the brackets are off the front of the subframe. Brake line dripping there. It'll probably drip a bit more when I take it off. But up here, there's a bolt. There's a bolt at the front, centre of screen. And so it's just the 4 now. I think I've disconnected all the electrics, and off the back here, a little bit of oil came out of that. So I'm a bit slightly concerned about that. And then, as I say, I've dropped the whole thing off all in one lump. And then I'll be a happier bunny. Because then I can... Oh God, I'm still having back problems. So I can work on it on the bench. Not that we've got a bench here, but a set of pallets would do fine. And then... So that's all I can do for the moment. I really need a dugger gun to do that. Now, I've had a little clean up of some parts. I've cleaned up the door handle mechanisms. They're a little bit better. So I've just got some glue to take off of here. I think it was the passenger one that was stiff anyway from actually opening. See, when you open it, it doesn't go shut, and it just might be that spring there is a bit too weak. So I may pop that out of there and put it underneath, because that's what's been done with. That's what they did with the driver's side. Look, so you see there, that wire should actually be in that hole, but it's been put to there. Anyway, so they're nice and clean, and then obviously at some point when I play about with some paint, I mustn't forget to have a go at this surround, and I'll have to do the same. Yeah, I'm going to have to do the same with that. I forgot that was painted, and I've taken that all apart as well. Oh, yeah, I know. Yes, I'll have to have a play around with that. I'll have to try and take the actual door handle, which is plastic, and take it out of that bit, which is metal. And likewise with that. So that'll be another strip down job. Speaking of strip down, this is a nice piece. Right, well, I say nice piece. I have had a play with the sandblaster today, and it's working a little bit better, thanks to young Carlos. So I've had a go at playing around with this. I've sanded that, and I've sanded those two pieces that go between the front and rear windows. I think what I will do is I think I'll take that pipe off because it's oily. Let's take that off because look, it's making mess, and we don't want that if I'm going to put some paint over it. And I was going to take the label off. I did take a picture of it, so it's got the part number in case I ever need it. But then I sort of went around it and cleaned it up slightly and thought, well, I could just paint around it. It wouldn't be a massive problem for me. But I'm going to paint these up with some zinc oxide, zinc primer, and then that'll be a done jobby. So I've pulled a few things out. I've pulled my toy box out, and it's just sat over there at the moment on the pallet truck, and my water trough, just so that I can access them, because unfortunately it's very dark here, and when I want something it's like a bit of a jiggery pokery. So I can probably put some bits and pieces that are on top here underneath, just to get them out the way. I'll have them freestanding anyway, and then I think at some point I'm going to start cleaning all the bits and pieces that I've taken off, get them into a state where, you know, they can go back on the car when I'm ready, and then that's about it. So the object is to try and get the back end off completely. The prop shaft can stay connected to the front end. I've still got a couple of pipes and bits and pieces, and between you, me and the gate post, I'm still not completely certain. You see this mount here, which is all part of that. I think if I unbolt this, maybe it will drop down with the subframe, but I don't know. See, I'm still not completely sure whether any of the engine is connected to the subframe. I don't think it is. I think that would be silly to say that. But then again, I am silly, so I don't know what I'm doing. Never taken an engine out of an Audi yet, but it will happen. And then I've still got some pipes to discombobulate. The ones that go through the back here for the heater matrix, I've got to take them off of that nice new metal bit that I had to fit a little while back. And then hopefully that's not that far away from coming out. The only thing that I'm a bit slightly wary of is if and when I get around to disconnect, because there's 4 bolts that holds the subframe on, like the rear. I've obviously got to take the top off the shock, and then, but what I'm hoping is that when I lift the car up off the front, I'm really hoping that the engine doesn't fall off the front of the subframe. I mean, I know like I said just now, the gearbox,
So the subframe's down here. Can't quite see. Let's see, where's the light there? But there is a tie. I think the mount is off the bottom here. So gearbox is all there, and there is a tie onto the subframe.
So I don't know whether that's strong enough to keep things in place, and then if I undo these bolts, will everything just go gadonk and fall on the bloody subframe and damage the sump? But what I will have to do is, when I've got the back end subframe off, is I'm going to have to put the frame on. What I've done is I've just shot this up against the sill, which means that obviously I need to lift the back end of the car up higher. I will probably have to have the frame quite some way back before I can put the frame underneath. But that doesn't matter, I can always sit it on axle stands if need be. There's a place back here where the old towing eyes are, so that's, I think that's the same. Yeah, there's a box on each side, so I can always do that. Anyway, that's enough waffle for today. So time to go home, I think. Anyway, bye for now.